Welcome, listeners, to today's episode. Get ready for a tale filled with mystery and suspense. We are really excited to start this new episode where we will improve our ability to listen through short stories.
Today's story follows Sarah, a young woman seeking a fresh start, who moves into an old house in a quiet town.
But what she finds there is far from the peaceful new beginning she expected.
Are you ready? Let's dive in.
Sarah had been through a lot recently, a painful breakup that left her longing for a change. So when she found an old, charming house in a small, peaceful town, she decided it was just what she needed. The house was everything she'd hoped for: quaint, cozy, and with a sense of history in its creaking floors and old wooden beams. The townsfolk were friendly enough, though a bit reserved, as if they held secrets of their own. But from the moment she stepped inside, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that she wasn't alone. It wasn't anything she could put her finger on, just a sensation, like the air was thicker in some places, colder in others.
A few days after moving in, Sarah decided to explore the house more thoroughly. It was late afternoon, and the golden light streamed through the dusty windows, casting long shadows on the floor. She climbed the narrow staircase to the attic, a space she hadn't yet ventured into. At the top of the stairs, she found a small wooden door, one that was strangely out of place. It was locked, and none of the keys she had seemed to fit. From that day on, odd things began to happen. She would hear faint creaking sounds in the dead of night, as if someone were walking above her. Sometimes, she caught glimpses of shadows moving just out of the corner of her eye. And always, there was that door in the attic, closed and silent, yet somehow watchful.
Sarah's curiosity grew, along with a sense of unease. She decided to ask her neighbors about the house, hoping they could shed some light on its history. But whenever she mentioned the attic or the locked door, they would change the subject, their smiles fading. Finally, an elderly woman named Mrs. Thompson, who had lived in the town all her life, pulled Sarah aside after one of her inquiries. "That house belonged to the Bellamy family," Mrs. Thompson whispered. "They were a private sort, kept to themselves. But one day, they all disappeared. No one knows what happened to them, and no one's lived there since, until you." The old woman's words left Sarah with more questions than answers, but one thing was clear: whatever secrets the house held, they were tied to that attic door.
Determined to uncover the truth, Sarah spent hours searching the house for anything that might unlock the door. Then, one evening, as she was cleaning the fireplace, she found it, a small, rusty key hidden among the ashes. With trembling hands, she made her way up to the attic. The key fit perfectly, and with a soft click, the door swung open. The room beyond was dim, filled with the smell of dust and decay. Inside, she found an old trunk, a stack of faded photographs, and a leather-bound journal. As Sarah opened the journal, the temperature in the room seemed to drop. The pages were filled with frantic scribbles, recounting how the Bellamy family had attempted to perform rituals, dark, desperate attempts to bring their deceased son back to life. But something had gone wrong. Instead of bringing their son back, they had unleashed something else, something that could not be controlled.
The journal detailed how the family had tried to reverse the ritual, but it was too late. The presence they had summoned was already in the house, and it wasn't leaving. The final entry was scrawled in a shaky hand: "We must seal it away. The door must never be opened." Sarah's heart pounded as the reality of her situation sank in. The strange occurrences, the feeling of being watched, it was all connected to whatever was trapped behind that door. And now it was free.
The next few days were a blur of terror. The presence in the house grew stronger, more oppressive. Sarah could feel it in every room, every shadow. She knew she had to do something before it consumed her too. Gathering her courage, Sarah decided to end it once and for all. She took the journal and a box of matches and climbed back to the attic. As she lit the matches and set the journal ablaze, the room seemed to shudder. The flames flickered and danced, casting eerie shadows on the walls. She watched as the pages blackened and curled, the words of the ritual burning away with them. When it was done, Sarah sealed the door to the attic with nails and boards, praying that it would be enough.
Sarah moved out of the house soon after, leaving the town and its secrets behind. But even miles away, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was still watching her, lurking just beyond the edges of her vision. As she drove away, the old house stood silent, the attic door once again sealed, at least for now. Thank you for listening to today's story. Remember, some doors are best left unopened. Join us next time for another tale that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Thanks for listening today, and if you found the video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.